So, is there any signs that our body will give us in our daily lifestyle that we generally walk over and just ignore it?
This is an amazing question. We have a concept called Vega. Vega is Vishu Gatihi, the subtle sensations or the movements that happen in our body, especially the different srutasas or the pathways in the body. They are of two types, the physical and the mental. The physical ones are like you want to sneeze, there's a movement happening. You want to pass stools, there's a movement happening. These are signals, natural signals. You want to urinate, then the cough reflex, and then you hunger, then thirst, sleep. All of these, there are 13 of them. So these are all physical urges or reflexes or sensations which are very natural. These are something which needs to be identified and respected. Okay. When I mean respected, what I mean to say is neither you are suppressing them nor you are forcefully putting them out. I have seen some people who actually initiate a sneeze and then keep on sneezing. No, that's wrong. Okay. Or if there is a vomiting sensation which is happening, I just pop a pill just like that and then I suppress it. No, that's also wrong. That can have an impact. Without understanding why the vomiting is, why is it coming from? Is it an indigestion? What is it? You need to understand and then treat accordingly. Instead of just suppressing it is something which can be dangerous. So this is the physical part. And then the mental part. You have the anger, the greed, the jealousy, all of that, which all of us feel. Yeah, ample. These are also the subtle sensations which do come. We need to be aware of it and channelize them. This is an emotional training which every child should be given. It's, to feel angry is something which is natural. But what do I do with it? Some children suppress it. Parent also screams at the child, "Hey, how dare you scream?" No. Then the child learns how to suppress it. Or then they can throw tantrums. But it is not that. It needs to be channelized, resolved. Then resolved. If your emotions or these natural sensations are not resolved over a period of time, that can either get physicalized into different diseases. That's what, in today's generation, we call it psychosomatic disorders. Right? So, on a daily basis, if we are aware of ourselves, both in the body and in our mind, identify the different urges or the movements that happen and deal with it accordingly, then I think 90% of the diseases that we are getting these days will nowhere be seen.
Does this have any connection with hormonal cycles? Generally, hormonal imbalance or balance or whatever it is there for both men and women.
True.
Right? So generally we say women, they are on their cycle. Before their cycle, hormonal imbalance. She's going to get irritated, shout, get angry, cry, and make drama. That's probably a thing that people have actually given to the women. But men also have hormonal cycles, isn't it? I don't know, it's a very blunt and a raw question, but we have periods, but they don't have that. So how do they actually, how is it for them? How do they actually know it?
The main difference between a male and female is the body. We need to understand that. And even in the body, it's the reproductive system. That is what defines a male as a male and a female as a female. So naturally, the cycles that we are talking about, which is related to the reproductive system, the whole system is different. Men don't go through any cycle.
Yeah. But they act weird. That's the,
No, I'll tell you. There's no timing to act weird for them.
True. Right.
And most of the times, probably they act weird out of choice. In the women, premenstrual period, though you may not choose to act weird, you have a vulnerability.
You end up being so.
And I'll tell you, even women need not be vulnerable. It's because of the way we are dealing with our life, it's because of our lifestyle, that we end up being vulnerable in the premenstrual period. Otherwise, even in women, hormones are supposed to be normal
Okay.
and peaceful. And periods are something like you go for you just go pass your stools and come back. You don't create any tantrum out of it, do you?
No.
No. It's just a normal physiological process, and that is how every month a period for a woman should be. If that is not happening, that means to say something is wrong somewhere. Maybe it's not to the extent that it is a disease, but then certainly a process has begun. And if you don't deal with it, and if you don't correct the cause of it, over a period of time, maybe months, maybe years, you're going to end up having some problem.
Okay.
Any deviation from ananda, happiness, is disease. Women have to take care during their periods to ensure that they're well off when they don't have periods. That means to say, when you have periods, eating all sort of stuff, and then thinking that it's okay to cycle, it's okay to play sports, it's okay to trek, it's okay to do everything. No, it's not okay. Again, I need to bring up the same, analogy. You don't exercise when you're actually passing your stools, right?
Right.
That's something where an elimination is happening. But the difference is it just happens in one shot, 5 minutes, and it's done. But here it's 3 days. But still the body is eliminating something. You need to help it out. Allow it to happen. Allowing it to happen is the best help that you can do. And you are using your physical movement so much, you're traveling so much, then it is like the body is trying to eliminate, you are trying to do something else. So there is a problem over there happening. And it may not show it up immediately, but over a period of time it does show up.
Okay. So the physical exertion is definitely not.
Definitely not. And the food also. Make sure the food that you are taking is light, it's hot, and then it has a little ghee or little whatever you're used to. Ghee
I mean, that actually gets, sorry to interrupt, but that actually gets me to another question. So, a couple of years back when I went to a nutritionist, and she's also, she's a person who advises what training you need to take in the gym and all that. So, she had told the day 1 of your period, you can eat anything. Because the day 1, whatever you eat is actually not going to affect your weight or your mood or anything of that sort. So you can go ahead and eat anything. So that is actually in contrary to what you're saying. So that sort of popped up in my mind. So is that actually true? The first day specifically?
I apologize, but certainly no. Well, probably sometimes when you look at it partially with only one angle of weight or any one component, maybe that's their observation. But our perspective is not about any one component. It is about the health in its entirety. It's not about building muscles, it's not about putting down weight, it's not about any one thing. It's about harmony within the body and the mind. That's what is health all about. So when you're looking at that, then the entire perspective to your lifestyle during the periods is very different.
Everybody says that, if I go to Ayurveda, this will definitely be solved. A couple of things are there like that. So the first thing is bloating, heaviness. So what is it with Ayurveda and bloating and heaviness? Is it the go-to thing for anybody who is gastric? Because sometimes only allopathy suppresses the problem. It does not cure the problem. But does Ayurveda do it?
Okay. See, may it be bloating, may it be acidity, or may it be any other diseases. Ayurveda has its own approach. Okay. And that approach is to identify the cause. Bring about a change in the lifestyle. Strictly. And then whatever damage has happened already, undo it. And then ensure that it doesn't come back again. And then stop the treatment. This is the protocol, general protocol that we actually follow. We are supposed to follow. That's what our texts teach us. So in this process, what happens? The focus is certainly not on timely management. I mean, it's not like you're having a burning, it goes away right now. No, our focus is on the root cause and the whole process. So in this process, yes, it certainly goes away. Conditions apply. The conditions what it applies is you can't expect the medicine to do everything. The medicine will do its part. The patient has to do his or her part. Then generally it gets sorted out. And the diagnosis has to be proper first. That's the basic thing. And when I'm talking of diagnosis to be proper, I'm talking of the independent Ayurvedic diagnosis.
Okay.
Because when an Ayurveda treatment is given based only on proper, precise Ayurvedic diagnosis, that's when miracles happen.
Okay.
So most of the times what people see is just the drugs, the medicines. But what really works there is the choice of those, the strategy of treatment which is based on the precision in diagnosis. So that is the crux of the entire thing.
So this is going to be a process, right? How about emergencies in Ayurveda?
Well, emergency to whom? The patient?
The
doctor?
patient. The patient.
Okay. See, I'll tell you, there are two aspects to it. One is the Ayurveda and the actual part of it. The other is the social aspect of it. The social and the legal aspect of it. The actual part of it, our science is perfect. But we doctors are not yet perfect. We are in the process. In our texts, we have incidences which talk about so many emergency cases being dealt with. There are documents, there are records, including brain surgeries.
That's where I was coming to.
There are amazing references which are there. Okay. But today, in today's life, what we are practicing, supposed to be very good practitioners of Ayurveda, what we are practicing is just not even 5% of what is there in the text.
So Ayurveda has done surgeries as well.
There are 8 different specializations in Ayurveda, of which one is surgery, which was very, very, very well developed at one point of time.
Okay.
And that included methods of anesthesia, then brain surgeries, successful brain surgeries, transplantations, and lot of things for which we get references. But the thing is, we are not perfect, far from it. So we are not yet completely practicing whatever is there in the science for the benefit of humanity. And that is the dream vision towards which we are actually working for. Well, once we start working now, maybe next 200 years and beyond that, probably it will just realize what it was done long back. Nothing new to add, but then at that itself, we are very far from it.
Okay.
Even with that 5% that we practice, there are many emergency cases we are able to handle.
Okay.
But there are so many which we are not yet equipped to handle, not because it is not there in Ayurveda, because we have not been able to decode those texts, that part of the text efficiently yet.
Okay.
It's an ongoing process. Second thing, I was talking of the socio-legal thing. That's a huge topic in itself. Ayurveda, being a native of this land, is very pathetically an alternate science in the same land.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Right? So then there are limitations there. Well, both are true. We as doctors have not yet really decoded that entire thing, but still we are able to do in certain fields. Different doctors are working on different aspects, and especially during COVID, we could see miracles happen, even in dangerous cases. And a lot of things are happening. But then, does it get the real credibility and the real identity that it has to when it comes to it in the socio-legal? Absolutely no. Not even in our own country. Well, reasons could be many, but these two phases are true.
So is it a pseudoscience then?
What do you mean by pseudoscience?
Because we have research papers and we have proven methodology for allopathy, or I don't want to specify for any other branch of medicine, right? But for Ayurveda, is there any research evidences? Yeah, right.
Well, in Rigveda, I'm just talking about 700 and odd mantras of Rigveda, which are about the celestial doctors, Ashwini Kumaras. Okay? Each of those mantras are documentation of the cases that they have treated.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And Vedas date back to beyond what time can actually be measured. So those are the kinds of deep-rooted evidences that you have. But the problem is, I'll tell you one mantra. Sadhyo janghamayasīm vishpala ayaidhane hite sartave pratyadhattam. This is a mantra which is talking about Ashwini Kumaras doing an emergency surgery on a lady by name Vishpala and transplanting her leg. I mean, giving her an artificial leg in the war field.
Oh, okay.
And they've used the word sadhyaha. That means to say immediately after it she was able to resume to her battlefield. And then she won the battle.
Oh, okay.
And this is very tiny example of what the meager thing I was able to understand that I am telling you. Like this you have evidences. I'll just have a question. Do we have the patience, the resources and the acumen to even go inside and search for documents? Search for evidences? We don't need journals to search for evidences. See, for Ayurveda, whatever you write in journal today, whatever you're going to do today, the result of it you're going to know after 3 centuries. Who knows what you publish in a journal today and claim it's an evidence, after 3 centuries, you have another thing which will be disproving this. Correct?
Right.
But this age-old evidences that you get right from those are time-tested. Do we have the patience to go back and look at it and understand it? It's a huge effort. If we can, instead of saying there is no evidence, is it a pseudoscience, and instead of wasting all our effort, if we can as Indians, I don't even say as Ayurveda Vaidyas, it's a treasure of our country. If we people are able to actually go inside and decode those sutras, go deeper and see, you will get a huge treasure house of evidences that you're looking for. And probably much more.
That's very interesting actually. This is a very new side of Ayurveda altogether, right?
It's the roots of Ayurveda.
Yeah, roots of Ayurveda.
This is the roots of Ayurveda.
Okay. So, when you say that, there have been evidences and all that, so is there one base, for example, in allopathy? I mean, it's a very common thing, right? So, after COVID, many of them have become Google doctors. So, if you say that you go take one Dolo 650, go take one Azithral, you're done with your cold and cough. So, like that that is also not very safe. Yeah, so that disclaimer, I definitely put that disclaimer right here. But yeah, is there a base ground medicine, a go-to medicine in Ayurveda, which says, to my little knowledge, what we do at home is tulsi and the Oma Ela is what they say. So something like that. Is there anything of that sort?
There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. But still, at the end of the day, I would say, don't go behind medicines.
Okay.
Medicine is a medicine. Let the doctors do their job. You take care of your health. Make sure you don't fall sick. And then once you start really using it, your own hot water can become a superb medicine for you. Your own elaichi can become a superb medicine for you. Right? Using herbs in a daily life has become so fancy these days. But it can be dangerous without proper knowledge of it. Herbs are very, very powerful. I've had a case who takes neem juice regularly because they thought it was good for their health for more than a year, and they ended up having a heart attack.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Tikta Rasa. There are proof in our science. Tikta Rasa every day if you take, it can cause Hridgraha. They end up. This is something in the name of Ayurveda we should not be doing. In the name of Ayurveda, let's help people understand their food, their sleep, their own minds, have a healthy life. All that is fine. But then when it comes to medicines, leave it to the doctors. Let them do their job. Because without knowing, It's in it in entirety. Just because it's a herb, please don't deem it as safe. See, I'm not an expert in the first part that you said, so I won't talk about it. But even maybe Ayurvedic medicines or herbs may not be, when used so much, it may not produce that kind of side effects because they are natural substances. But still people tend to take it years together. That's not something which should be encouraged. Amantram aksharam nasti moolam anaushadham. There is nothing in the world which is not a medicine. Everything in the world is a medicine. Provided you know.
You have to strike a balance.
Absolutely.
So there is no go-to medicine as far as Ayurveda is concerned.
You can get a go-to medicine from your own doctor.
Okay, yeah.
It can be a very customized thing.
Okay, yeah. So it's not something that anybody can go and get it over
I don't
the counter.
advise people to even think of doing like that.
Okay.
Not a healthy way
of doing it, okay. So
I can give you a list of 40, 50, 100, it can go on. But that's not the way.
Okay. Eating raw.
Yeah.
Is a big no-no when it comes to Ayurveda.
Not really. See, there are two things. It depends on who you are. Are you a Rishi? You're going to be, completely away from the Laukika, looking only for Sattvika thing, and then your purpose of life is moksha. Then, yes, there is references in Charak Samhita which talk about raw food, how to take it, what to take it, and all of that. But that's not the thing. You want to be in this world. And you want to go through all kinds of lobha, moha, kama, krodha, everything. But then you want to mix raw food also, unraw food also. And then you are actually troubling your own digestive system. That's not the way. And paka can be two types. One Agni paka, the other Kalapaka. Fruits are Kalapakwa. Very good. Vegetables are not Pakwa. So that is why it needs Agni or cooking to make it Pakwa.
Okay.
So that is the concept.
Okay. So fruits is okay, but vegetables...
Fruits are very good. Because they are Pakwa, not by Agni, but by Kala. It has to be Pakwa for your digestion power to actually convert it properly.
Okay.
That's all is the concept. But if you are a Muni Rushi, then what happens is you eat very less. You don't eat cooked food at all. And that itself is enough for you for the entire day, then carry on. That's great. But you know what we people do? We eat raw food, then again cooked food. After 1 hour again chai. That's dangerous.
Okay. When it comes to Ayurveda and food again, one last question, right? Is there a universal red flag where every Ayurveda Vaidya says that is a definite no?
Let me think. Viruddhahara. Viruddhahara is the incompatible combinations.
Okay.
That's what I was talking of, the curd and the milk, non-veg and the milk. You have these milkshakes, na? And in the milkshakes you have mango milkshake. Anything which is sour getting into milk and then taking. Those are a big no, because they can cause a lot of damage without our knowledge.
Okay. Okay, so moving on to lifestyle and, lifestyle being the thing right now, right? So, you had told about seasonal changes a little bit before during the talk. So, how can the seasonal changes actually affect our body? And
we are a part of nature. We are a part of nature, integral part of nature. We're not something very different. If something is happening outside, the same thing is happening within us. So we need to harmonize that. It's as simple as it's very cold, you'll take out your winter clothes. Right? It's very hot, then you'll just take out your cotton clothes. Who asked you to do it? It's a natural thing, right? The same thing applies. Change your food, the change what you're eating, when you're sleeping, what's happening. I think that harmonizing with the nature is something is that you're harmonizing with yourself. The changes that are naturally happening within you. So it's simple, as simple as that.
Okay. So having said that, right, in IT long work hours, sitting in one place. So is there any quick Ayurveda hack that we could be able to tell them to just come out if it's going to be a very stressful meeting or anything, right? Is there anything that an individual can do to just feel a little bit relaxed?
I would say, I generally say, every 1 hour, take 5 minutes out. And that 5 minutes should be without your laptop, without your mobile, and without talking to people. Just go out, look at some tree, look at some bird. If not anything, at least raise your head and look at the sky. Feel the expansion, feel the breeze. It's nature alone that can actually rejuvenate you. Even if that's not possible, then you have your breath, you're breathing. Then just isolate yourself and watch your breath. Just be with yourself. 5 minutes, then come back. And very religiously, irrespective of how important the meeting is and how much emotionally and intellectually you're involved into it, make sure you take that 5 minutes once in an hour for yourself. And that can make a huge difference.
Okay. Quick hack, Ayurveda hack. You're having a cold, do this. If you're feeling stressed, yes, you had told. So any other for
Fast.
fever?
Fast.
Because they generally say fast if you're having a...
It's called fast. You wanted a quick hack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fasting is okay, so just stay that way so nothing else can help you.
Fast, rest.
Okay.
That's the best and the quickest hack.
Okay. In Ayurveda medicines, they generally say there's some mercury content which is harmful for health. Is that true? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. See, medicines, most of them are herbal. Some are herbo-mineral. Herbal, absolutely safe. Herbo-mineral, they are supposed to be prepared in a certain way. Okay, see, the tradition has been for the Vaidya to prepare his own medicines. That's the basics of Ayurveda, because the Vaidya knows how to prepare, how to check if what he has prepared is actually fine. But in today's life, it's been outsourced. So we really don't know where the raw materials come from and how it's prepared. And suppose if something in the method of preparation has gone wrong, then it's a possibility. That too in herbo-mineral products. And most of the Ayurveda practice doesn't even need them. And even when it is used, if a doctor, Vaidya, knows the authenticity of the source and then uses it, then no problem.
Okay.
They can act wonderfully very fast. And then they have been lifesavers, especially during COVID. So then...
Can you please quote some examples, doctor?
Lots. I'll tell you, the use of gold in a proper way can protect you from so many toxins. And the use of gold that we have done during, not just we, many of the thing have saved so many lives, especially in wave 2. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but then yes, it needs to be processed well, prepared well, checked well, given in the right dosages, and then you need to know when to stop. All of these actually really matter. If we go wrong anywhere here, then yes, there can be an impact. And we can't deny that. So whatever they're checking probably is because of a improper preparation that we see, because there are lots of opportunities for improper preparation these days. It's become a commercial thing, so we really don't know. And the Ayurveda people or the Ayurveda science is not responsible for it. It's just as we have a lot of nonsense happening, adulterations happening in every field. So our field is not an exception. It does happen. So probably that's how it is. But you cannot actually blame the usage of the herbo-mineral products itself. It's just that we have to clean the system and then make sure that it is really safe. It's done in the proper way that it has to be done and given only when necessary in the right way by the expert.
Okay.
Then that is the solution for it. Instead of really, creating a big fear out of, Ayurveda medicine, that's nonsense. It's not that. It's just I would say, not a very good practice. So correct the practice.
Right.
That's all it is.
So is there any authority like who or any standard that is there for Ayurveda where the medicine?
Yeah. Actually, it is. We have the national bodies which will be regulating that.
So now, having said that, long IT work hours again going there. So people go for multiple teas and coffees. So because they feel that they get energized and the caffeine content makes them very energetic and lively. Is there a way that they can avoid the caffeine content and still feel energetic and happy?
Do you know that happiness is choosing to be happy is the best energy booster. Laughter is the best energy booster. Humor. And then why should you always put something into your mouth to get the energy and be happy? I think that concept itself is wrong. It's not like that. See, anything that we put into your mouth, you need to think twice. These are all things which give you probably the feel of energy immediately, but later on you're going to fall sick. You need to remember that. So choose methods in which you can be happy, you can feel energetic, but then you continue to be so always, isn't it? So I think people drink coffee, tea, alcohol, everything because they are not able to handle the stress. It's not for energy. Ghee is the most misunderstood food product in this world. Why is it so? Ghee has the ability to protect your nerves, protect your heart, protect your, your Agni, your metabolism. That is one solution for a lot of dimensions of health. Provided you take it in the right quantity, at the right time, in the proper way. See, I have seen so many patients who don't even look at ghee have 300-400 cholesterol.
Oh, okay.
And I have also seen people who eat at least 30 to 40 ml of ghee and who don't even have, their triglyceride doesn't even cross 120, 130. Why? Why do people generally show their fingers on only ghee? No, it's not that. It's a very big misunderstanding. Having ghee with food, when you're taking food properly, with warm food, 1 to 2 spoons is something which will keep your bones, your joints, your hair, your brain healthy.
Okay. That's amazing. So moving on to the rapid fire questions. Herbal teas or coffee?
Herbal tea.
Oil massage or gym workout?
Oil massage.
Raw salads or cooked vegetables?
Cooked.
Sleeping early or waking up early?
Waking up early.
Spicy food or sweet food?
Is it a personal choice or a healthy choice?
Healthy choice.
But still sweetie.
Okay. Yoga or meditation?
They're the same.
Okay. If someone has a limited time, which one should they prioritize?
Meditation.
Okay. Cold water or warm water?
Warm water.
Western diets or Ayurvedic diets? I mean, I don't think I should ask that question at all.
I think you've got the answer.
Yes. Instant relief or long-term relief?
Relief is the word.
Okay. That's about it. So doctor, when we talk about lifestyles, right? How important is sleep for a person?
Very.
Okay.
Sleeping in the night, not sleeping in the day. Both are important.
Okay.
Because sleeping in the day can actually, especially after food, having a nap after food, the very favorite of many people, can end up in diseases like diabetes. So certainly not to be done. And night sleep, you need to sleep in the night at least for around between 6 and 9 hours. Depends on the nature of one person and the kind of occupation the person is in. I'm talking of an adult. But we have to give focus to proper deep sleep. Not to keep mobiles around when you're sleeping, no other technology around, but just go into sound sleep. That really helps especially for the health of your nervous system and your heart.
Okay. So Ayurveda is it only for adults or even for children?
Oh my God, that is for everyone.
Okay.
the pregnant, the postpartum, the baby, the child, the oldest person, animals, birds, everything, all forms of life. Ayuhu Vedaha.
Okay. All right. For an adult who's been through another form of medicine other than Ayurveda, if that person has to choose Ayurveda, what is it that person has to do?
Choose.
In terms of lifestyle or any other changes?
See, I think it's as simple. Ayurveda is the most basic, nearest to your nature way of life. So actually there is nothing very different that you need to do except for leave out those things which actually are causing diseases to you. It's as simple. Be yourself. It can be very simple. There is nothing very big or thing that you need to adopt and do this and do that. No, nothing. Just be yourself. I would say become more aware. Start respecting your body. Start loving your body. And just see what signals it is actually giving you. And start respecting it. I think it can be that simple.
Okay. Is there any disease or illness that Ayurveda cannot treat?
First of all, we don't treat diseases. We treat people.
Okay.
Okay. And people with diseases at different stages. Every disease, when we study in our texts, there are stages where they have identified as asadhya. That means to say that is beyond treatment. So diagnosing it at that point of time and realizing that it is not curable is an important part of our profession. And that shows the acumen of the Vaidya, if we are able to actually identify it. It's asadhya means asadhya. But then also we treat, then the target of treatment would be to improve their quality of life. And when we know that death is imminent, then the target of treatment is to help them leave their body peacefully. So it depends.
To wrap up, I think it was a wonderful conversation, Doctor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I enjoyed it too.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, I think, a whole lot of information, and better be good with your lifestyle and yourself.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much for your
all
time.
The very best for all of those who have started their journey in the path of wisdom of life. So, God be with all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much. So, to wrap up, right? So, if you really have to tell the audience and the younger generation who want to step into Ayurveda and who want to step into Ayurveda, what advice would it be?
And step into Ayurveda as a professional?
Professional,
okay.
Yes. And also who want to go in the Ayurveda mode of life. Okay. What is your advice?
See, two different. One for people who want to adapt Ayurveda as their way of life. I would congratulate them because you have begun on a journey which will make you happy, live long, and then make your lives fulfilling. But then make sure that what you're following is actually Shastra based proper Ayurveda, not many things in the name of Ayurveda. Check the authenticity before you practice it. And the way you check is first observe your own bodies. If you are actually following properly, then you should feel hungry 3 times a day. You should get proper sleep for at least 7 to 8 hours at night. Morning you have to wake up fresh without an alarm. And then you should be energetic, happy, positive through all crises and ups and downs in the life. And your stamina should be high. So if all of this is happening, then the path that you are chosen and the principles which in the name of Ayurveda that you are following are right. Always be aware and then keep checking. That is one thing. And for those children who really want to take up Ayurveda as a profession, I'll tell you, this is especially for those who want to enjoy life in its real sense. And the joy is in bringing about a smile on the people's faces, the thrill of finding the cause of the disease, the innovation and the creativity in providing solutions, and the variety of cases that you see in a day. And most of the times you understand what all other sciences talk about, but then You have the privilege of not others understanding what you're trying to say. It's very, adventurous. And every step, every patient, you have an opportunity to grow within and really enjoy it. But having said that, there are two aspects which you should have if you want to choose this profession. One is you should have a flair for learning Sanskritam. Not that you can't become a Vaidya without it, but if you really want to reach the peak, then you need to have the flair, because the Sanskritam is something which is not just a language, but it's a program. So unless you learn it, you need not learn it before you come. But then even after you enter the science, you can learn it. You should have a willingness and a flair for it. So you can decode the texts. More you decode, you're going to get out more treasures. And that's what makes your journey really fabulous. And the second thing is, believe in yourself and believe in the science. Never go by, does it have a scope? Will I get a job? All of that. I think if you're of that type, it won't suit you. If you're pakka that, look, let me know, let me explore, let me do my bit for the society and be happy, money will come. You don't make money in this field, but money will come. It will come. This is not a profession meant for making money. This is a profession meant for service and meant for learning and knowing better, and you yourself becoming a better person with every day of practice. But I'll tell you, it does give you what you need. It does fulfill you what your necessities are. So don't compare yourself with others, but if these are the things which you want to, and you are intelligent enough, and you want to really have a life on your own terms and still enjoy it, then this is the field for you. And you should be very happily choosing it. I did choose it happily. When I had an option of actually going for the other thing, I got a seat both ways, but then I chose this, and looking back for 32 years, I think I did the best decision.
That's amazing, Doctor.